What is up, everyone? Hope everybody had a great, productive day. I am back for another review. I guess this is my actual first review of Dragon Ball Super. So this is going to be my Dragon Ball episode 52, Dragon Ball Super 52 review. And the episode starts off with Bulma working on a time machine that Cell left behind. She's making a lot of progress with it. She has Trunks, Mai, and the Pilaf gang actually helping her out. And for once, the Pilaf gang isn't being completely annoying. They're actually being useful. So I commend this episode. They're actually putting these characters to use instead of just having them lie around and have a whole 5-10 minute scenes to themselves. It's just really annoying. And I know a lot of other people are annoyed by the Pilaf gang, but they actually was put to use in this episode, which is great. Um, Mai is working harder than anyone else in this little beginning scene because she has a crush on future Trunks. And it's weird, but it seems as though present Trunks actually has a crush on her. And so present Trunks is actually trying to impress present Mai because he's jealous of his future self. It's kind of a weird thing to wrap your head around, but it's actually pretty interesting. What is also interesting is the fact that I don't know if anybody has really addressed this or thought about this, but isn't Mai like technically like 60 years old or 70 years old? I mean, isn't she like, wasn't she a full fledged adult when like Dragon Ball first started? So I'm still trying to wrap my head around that. Like, Mai is actually older than probably all the characters, or most of our typical Dragon Ball Z characters: Gohan, Goku, Vegeta, Bulma. She's older than all the core characters. But this is weird though because she's a kid now, and so I'm like, would she be considered a pedophile for dating and messing with President Trunks? It's a very weird situation. But anyway, Trunks is trying his best to impress Mai. He's trying to help her find parts of the time machine. He's doing little things to get her attention, but it's all failing because she has her eyes set on him, except just not the present him, his future counterpart. But yeah, so the Pilaf gang is definitely being of use in this episode, which is great. Then we move into a scene with Vegeta actually training in the gravity room. He's pissed off at the fact that his family, Bulma, Trunks, and all of them are just Bulma's dead in the future, and Trunks is just he's fucked up. I mean, he's pissed off at the future, and he's pissed off at Black, and so he's training hard. And you really got to commend Vegeta's his character development. He's really changed. I mean, if you look at his character from episode one of when he first appeared in the Saiyan saga until now, he's made tremendous progress. He actually cares about people. He actually has a family. He actually cares about other people other than himself. He actually loves his family. So Vegeta has made a tremendous character development since Dragon Ball has first started, the whole Dragon Ball franchise. So I'm really impressed, and I really love Vegeta's character development. We go to a scene with Trunks, and he's having a nightmare. He has some serious PTSD, and I really can't blame him. He's had his life and his future ripped away from him twice. He's had his future ripped from him from with the androids, and he's had his future ripped away from him with this Black Goku character. So Trunks has been through a hell of a lot. He's not even that old. He's been through a hell of a lot. He's lost an awfully lot. He's lost a lot in his life, and he's just been through hell and back. And so it's no shock that he's going through PTSD. But anyway, he wakes up and goes into the room and talks to Bulma. He talks to her, and he finds out that the machine is actually probably going to be complete sooner than expected. The fuel that they need is actually probably a lot easier to find in the present time. It's probably a lot more quantity, whatever they're using to build it or create it. So it's not going to take a year or 2 years to make a half a tank of fuel. It's going to take a day. So that's really great, and that's really great for Trunks. And he's not going to have to waste time in the waste time worrying about what's going on in the future. He's going to probably be able to go and help future Mai out. So Trunks talks to Bulma for a while, then he goes outside and he talks to Piccolo and Krillin, and he inquires about what Gohan is up to. So he explains to he explains to Piccolo and Krillin, which I found weird that they didn't even know before this, but he explained to Krillin and Piccolo that future Gohan is his mentor, is his senpai, his master, and so Piccolo and Krillin are actually caught off guard by that, and I was kind of shocked. I'm like, didn't he tell them that like when he came back in the first time? Didn't they know that? But I don't know. It just seemed that whole situation seemed weird to me. I feel like they should have knew that. They almost seemed like shocked, and I don't know. I guess he didn't tell them before. I don't mean they never asked. I'm not quite sure, but so go not Gohan. Trunks is flying to Gohan's house. He's having a flashback of the future, and he's going through some serious PTSD. He's like imagining things, and honestly, that whole scene with the flashback of him in the future, it just really had me ready to cry. Like I really don't get emotional over anime series and mangas that often, but I really got emotional with this episode. Like just seeing him in just complete and utter despair, that really got underneath my skin, and I'm really like feeling the new vibe of Dragon Ball Super. Like it's really touching me on an emotional level. Dragon Ball Z was more about fighting. Now all I cared about was fighting, but Dragon Ball Super is actually appealing to my emotions. So I'm really enjoying that aspect of the new series. But anyway, Trunks visits Gohan at his college. He waits outside, and Gohan comes by. Gohan actually passes him by before he recognizes him, which is kind of strange. But I guess Gohan has other things on his mind. He has a family, he has a wife, he has a career. So, I mean, the whole direction they went with Gohan's character, I absolutely hate it. I find it to be completely against everything that Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z stood for. It was more about action and fighting and martial arts, and so Gohan's character is actually the complete opposite of most, most if not all of the rest of the characters. Maybe not Bulma because she's academic, but Gohan has completely turned a 365 or a 360. I guess you could say more of a 180 because a 360 would be a complete circle, but a 180. He's a completely different person from when he fought Cell. He's gentle and he's just not a fighter anymore. He has a family, a wife, a daughter, and so he doesn't care about fighting anymore at all. And Trunks was actually shocked. Trunks is shocked to see how much he's changed. He's a lot weaker. He's just a lot weaker and more average than what he was and what Trunks experienced in the future. But he at the same time you can also tell that Trunks is proud and Trunks is happy for Gohan because he actually was able to follow his dreams and become a scholar and things like that. So Gohan and Trunks are sitting in the park and they're just talking, and Trunks is still just shocked at how much Gohan has changed and how different he is compared to his future counterpart, which was killed. And it's just I could just tell by looking at Trunks and looking at his eyes that he just can't believe that this is the same person. And I honestly can't believe Gohan is the same person either. I'm really sad and just I'm really upset about where Gohan's character has gone. But at the same time, I'm actually I guess you could say not impressed, but I'm actually glad that Gohan is different because it offers something different to the series. It's unexpected, and so I like it. But Chi Chi is to blame for all of this. If it wasn't for Chi Chi and her influence, Gohan could be probably the most powerful fighter, if not the second most or third most powerful fighter in the series. So all of that is Chi Chi to blame, and her sheltering him and pushing college and education on him, which is nothing wrong with that. But again, I just wanted more from Gohan. I wanted him to be more of a fighter. But continuing onward, so he goes and visits Videl and Hercule and Pan, and he's just chilling at their house, just really trying to absorb the situation and absorb Gohan and his family and who Gohan is today. Um, I think this episode really did a good job of showing Pan's potential in the future. Pan is going to be a beast in the future. Pan is already strong. She already can fly. She already has control over her ki, so she's going to be a very powerful fighter in the future. I think she's going to be more powerful than she was in Dragon Ball GP. which is not canon, but I'm just saying she's gonna be way more powerful. I think she has the potential to probably be one of the most powerful characters in the series, just from looking at how much she's developed and how much control she has over her ki at a young age. I can see her going Super Saiyan at like 2 years old. Honestly, I really could. But we'll see where that goes. But so when Trunks sees Gohan as the great Saiyaman, I think this is one of the most funny parts of the episode. Trunks is just like, what the fuck? Like, what? He's just like, what the fuck happened to Gohan? Who is this man? That's one of my most favorited parts of this episode is when the Great Saiyaman comes out and Trunks is just like, is this actually Gohan? Who is this clown of a character? Who is this soft family man? But I also think that it allowed this episode allowed Trunks to see what the future could be like if Black Goku wasn't there. What the future could be like if all these terrible events did not keep happening in his timeline. And he actually has I guess you could say a daydream of what life would be like if Black Goku never showed up. It was him, it was Trunks, Mai, and Bulma sitting at the table just enjoying some dinner. Looked like, and you could tell he really wants that for the future, and he really is envious of Gohan because Gohan can experience that right now. Um, and I think this motivates Trunks to fight in the future because he wants to have a normal life. He wants to have a family. He wants peace. And so this episode is like motivation for Trunks to fight and to beat Black Goku because he wants to have a family and he wants to have a future, and just some stability, just like Gohan has right now. So you can tell he's kind of envious of Gohan, but at the same time, he's happy that Gohan's in the situation he's in. Because if you think about it, the last time he saw Gohan, besides the time he came back and fought against Cell, was when Gohan actually died in the future. And so this is a big contrast between then and now. So towards the end of the episode, Gohan is playing with Pan, and things. Trunks is more or less like, it's time for me to go, and they have dinner, and that's pretty much it. And what else happened in this episode? He forgot to ask why Gohan forgot to ask why Trunks came back. And that's one thing that kind of pissed me off. It's kind of like Gohan didn't show any concern. Like, clearly, if Trunks is back into the past, something is fucked up in the future. Like, as smart as Gohan is, that should have been obvious from the moment you saw him. So I'm kind of pissed off at Gohan with that. He should have known that something was wrong with Trunks. He didn't even ask. He didn't even bother to ask Trunks, like, how are you doing? How is your future going? So I think that was kind of selfish, and that was kind of rude. That was kind of a selfish thing on Gohan's part. But I guess Gohan's going through so much in his life, and he's just focused on himself that he didn't really even think to even ask Trunks why he's back in the past. So Trunks heads back to Bulma's place, and he finds out that Goku is off to Universe 10. Apparently, Whis, or Wise, however you want to pronounce his name, I just say Whis. Whis actually found out that he actually remembers someone that has a key similar to the feel of Black Goku in Universe 10. So you have Beerus, Whis, and Goku headed off to Universe 10 to meet the character known as, careful for spoilers if you don't know this already, the Kaioshin's name. His name is supposed to be Zamasu, or Zamasu. Clearly, this is all over the internet. Like, they have plenty of spoilers out for the next couple episodes, the next episode's names and all that stuff. I try to avoid those as much as possible, but I couldn't avoid hearing Zamasu. So I know that Zamasu is probably like a Kaioshin, and he's probably found a way to bring back Goku's body in the future or something like that. So those are my guess as to who this Zamasu character is. Clearly, he has a hatred towards humanity. So we'll find out more as the episode progresses. I try to avoid spoilers as much as possible because I like to be surprised when the episodes come up. So you guys might know a lot more than I do right now, but that's pretty much it. I thought it was a great episode. I really like seeing. I really like Trunks' reaction to present Gohan and his family and his situation. And I think this episode really motivated. This is motivation for Trunks to fight in the future and to give it his all, because Trunks wants to have a future. Trunks wants to have children. He wants his mother. He wants Mai. He wants all these things. And so I think he's going to really fight to get these things. And I know that Vegeta is going to give him some sort of training. You know, he's not going to leave this era without receiving some sort of training or some sort of upgrade. So he's definitely going to stand a better chance of fighting by Goku. But we'll see what happens. I'm excited to see the next episode. I'm excited for the series. I really love Dragon Ball Super. I've loved Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball ever since I was a kid. I've been into this series since I was like, I don't even know, like 9 or 10 maybe. And so I'm really loving where the series is going. But let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment below. Like this. Share it if you really enjoyed this review. I'm going to be doing them every week. If you enjoyed it, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Share it with your friends. I got more videos coming out, more content being pushed out weekly. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button. So, all right, guys. Until next time, see you later.